Hello, I'm Josh Robinson, and I'm a Data Platform Solution Specialist with Microsoft. With me today is Brad Schacht, a Data Platform Solution Architect with Microsoft. Our topic for today is upgrading from SQL Server 2005. You may be aware that support for SQL Server 2005 ended on April 12, 2016. So what does this mean? No more security updates. In fact, no more updates of any kind for SQL Server 2005. No more service packs, cumulative updates, or hot fixes for SQL Server 2005. So what does this mean? Well, first of all, it means higher maintenance costs. Because your SQL Server 2005 servers are vulnerable, they'll need to be protected more so than ever before. This also leads to compliance concerns. If your organization undergoes an annual audit, it's very likely that SQL Server 2005 will come up as a topic during that discussion. So what we'd like to talk about are some very practical real-world tools that Microsoft provides to help you upgrade those SQL Server 2005 servers. The first of these is the Microsoft Assessment and Planning Toolkit, often called the MAP Toolkit. So the MAP Toolkit provides a way for you to inventory and discover all of these SQL servers in your environment. It not only will discover the instances that you have installed on each server, but it will also provide an inventory of the databases. You can then output the reports into an Excel-based format and add details like the business owner, the application, or any other information that will be part of your discovery process. Once you've finished the planning, then you will be able to leverage another free tool from Microsoft called the SQL Server Upgrade Advisor. Now, the SQL Server Upgrade Advisor provides many capabilities, but one of the key components is an upgrade from one version of SQL Server to another. So if you're migrating from SQL Server 2005 to 2014 or 2016, it will be able to tell you any problems that you may run into and help mitigate those problems. It'll even perform the upgrade for you. It also will help if you're planning to migrate to the cloud, whether you're running VMs in the cloud with SQL Server installed on them, or if you're planning to move to Microsoft Azure SQL Database, our platform as a service. Additionally, it provides insights into modern features such as StretchDB, which allows partial data on-prem, partial data in the cloud, or our new in-memory OLTP engine that's part of SQL Server 2014 and 2016. Those topics are out of scope for today, but they are provided by the SQL Server Upgrade Advisor. In a few minutes, Brad will actually demonstrate SQL Server Upgrade Advisor so you can see what the process looks like. Before we demonstrate that, though, I'd like to mention a few additional resources. First of all, there's a 400-page document for SQL Server 2014 called the SQL Server Technical Upgrade Guide. This document is a great way for you to target different areas of your upgrade process and find technical details that will help you as you walk through that. We don't yet have that document available for SQL Server 2016, but there is a SQL Server 2016 Upgrade Center, and I provided that link here as well. The SQL Server product team has written a 3-part blog series on upgrading from SQL Server 2005. I've linked the first of those blogs here and trust that you can find the second and third blogs in that series. Also, there's an entire section on MSDN called Are You Upgrading from SQL Server 2005? You can find that link here. These links will be provided in the description of the video, so please look below or just pause and jot them down, but remember that they are case sensitive. Finally, out of scope for today's conversation, but part of the upgrade process, there are third-party tools such as BitTitan or Tearaway. And if you want to learn more about those, there's a Channel 9 video with greater detail and a quick walkthrough of what they provide. You can see the link for that at the bottom of this page. So with that, I'd like to turn it over to Brad Schacht. Brad is going to walk through the SQL Server Upgrade Advisor. Brad?
Thanks, Josh. Before we take a look at the Upgrade Advisor, let me give you a quick overview of the environment. As you can see here inside of Management Studio, we're moving from a SQL Server 2005 environment over to a SQL Server 2014 environment, and we've already migrated our AdventureWorks DW database. Switching over to the SQL Server 2016 Upgrade Advisor, we can see that we have several different scenarios that this tool will help us with. That includes migrating to Azure SQL Database, running an in-memory OLTP and column store advisor, running the StretchDB advisor, and finally, the option we're going to take a tour through today, which is analyzing and migrating to SQL Server. To get started, we need to tell the analyzer which server and which databases we want to analyze. In this case, we're going to go with localhost and choose to authenticate with Windows authentication. We'll click Connect, and then for the purposes of this demo, we're just going to select all of the databases on this particular instance. You can select individual databases though, if you'd like. At this point, we're ready to run the advisor. During this time period, the advisor is going to look at all the objects inside of each database selected. That's going to include views, store procedures, functions, as well as tables all the way down to the individual column level, just in case there's any compatibility issues with future versions of SQL Server. We can see here from the resulting page that the AdventureWorks DW and Northwind databases have a few issues that we might need to take into consideration during our upgrade process. To view the issues, simply select the database and then click the Save button next to the Analysis Results header. Here you'll see that we can save the output in either an HTML or a CSV format for later consumption. I can now open the HTML file and view each issue for my AdventureWorks DW database. We see that several of my views, while the code is supported, could cause us some performance issues down the road. So once we get this database upgraded, we're likely going to want to change that join syntax. One of my views, on the other hand, does use join syntax that's no longer supported in compatibility level above 90. So that's definitely something that we're going to need to take a look at once we get the database upgraded. Over in the Northwind database, it looks like we have several objects that use the same join syntax that may cause us some performance issues. Again, we'll want to take a look at these after we do the upgrade. Additionally, we have some warnings about data types that have been deprecated and may be removed in future versions of SQL Server. Let's go back over to the Upgrade Advisor and take a look at how to actually move one of these databases. From the Analysis Results screen, we can click the Migrate button and the Upgrade Advisor will actually help us move this database over to my 2014 instance. The backup folder here is going to be the default pulled from the instance of SQL where the original Northwind database here resides. Next, we'll select my destination server, which is going to be my SQL Server 2014 instance. Again, I'm going to connect with Windows authentication, click Connect, and it will retrieve the default folder path for where these data files and log files will exist on the new server. Click Select, then Migrate, and the utility will do all the rest of the work for you. Now, if we go back into SQL Server Management Studio, and I refresh my 2014 instance, we'll now see the Northwind database is present. If there's not connectivity between our source and destination SQL servers, we can always take a backup of the database manually and then perform the restore later ourselves. Upon completion of the restore command, our AdventureWorks database will now be available to us as well. That's just a quick walkthrough of the Analyze and Migrate to SQL Server functionality inside the SQL Server 2016 Upgrade Advisor. I'll hand it back over to Josh now to wrap things up.
Thanks, Brad. So the key takeaways from today are SQL Server 2005 is no longer supported as of April 12, 2016. That means no more security patches. In fact, no more patches of any kind. So therefore, it's important that if you are running SQL Server 2005, that you migrate to a modern version of the SQL Server platform as soon as possible. We've provided you with some free tools from Microsoft that will help with the discovery and migration efforts. We've also highlighted some third-party tools which you can investigate further. If you need further assistance with your migration efforts, please contact your local Microsoft partner or reach out to your Microsoft account manager. Thanks and have a great day.